for this week's Rise Up. With Memorial Day tomorrow falling on the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre, I want to talk about the thousands of black soldiers who have fought and died for this country abroad, only to come home and face discrimination and death right here in America. The history of black sacrifice for American ideals is older than our nation itself. The first casualty of the American Revolution was a free black patriot named Crispus Attucks, gunned down by British soldiers in Boston in the massacre on March 5th, 1770. It would be decades before our government faced the fact that a country founded on the pillars of freedom and independence, slavery was untenable and barbaric as an institution. And in the Civil War over those principles, black soldiers made up nearly 10% of the Union Army. The armed forces remained segregated well into the 20th century, with thousands of black soldiers serving in World War I, primarily limited to labor roles, facing prejudice from white soldiers and officers, even as they fought and died alongside them. And those who returned home alive faced constant degradation and peril on the home front. Even black veterans who returned to prosperous black communities were under fire, often literally. The Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921 destroyed a community and killed as many as 300 people. One Tulsa segregationist blamed black soldiers for the attack on their own community, saying putting black soldiers, quote, on the same plane as white soldiers was the leading cause of the massacre. Even in the face of this kind of violence in civilian life, black Americans still enlisted to fight for democracy in World War II. And they were once again maligned by their own commanding officers, forced into segregated units and denigrated by white soldiers. And while the military was finally desegregated following World War II, discrimination has not been banished from its ranks. The scourges of racism, homophobia, transphobia, and sexism still threaten soldiers today, even as they put their lives on the line in combat and peacekeeping missions. This Memorial Day, remember the thousands of soldiers who lost their lives for ideals that this country is still striving to live up to. They fought for freedom before they were free, for democracy before they could vote, for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness before any were guaranteed to them. Honor their memories by fighting those fights and by advocating for policies that will keep today's soldiers safe and respected. Call your senators and representatives and demand more than platitudes. No more claiming support our troops without adequate funding for veterans, as well as action on the rot of discrimination inside sub-military ranks. As you enjoy the holiday tomorrow, don't forget your duty to those fallen thousands. The least we can do as civilians has come to this Memorial Day in keeping the fight for a more perfect union that they laid down their lives to attain.